Oh man. Let's see. Oh. Oh, let's see here. Oh. I think I have the ability to do this. Can I not do it while I'm live? Huh. Maybe not. That's a little better, I guess. I don't know. Kind of weird. Oh, let me see here. Go on, girl. What's up? Y'all see what time is it? Give me a second. Y'all want to go out for a minute? Y'all gonna drive me crazy, probably trying to run after something. Especially that one right there. Y'all go out for a little bit before it starts raining again. Hey, I'll leave the door open for a minute. Unless something gets loud or something. I better watch it here. I got this lamp there. I was about to trip over the. Okay. Oh. Let's see if anybody's. And I welcome everybody. I hope you're having a good day. It's rainy here where I'm at. I don't feel bad or anything. I feel all right. I mean, excluding the circumstance of the dog being gone, one of the dogs. But overall, things are still pretty good, and I'm maintaining. I'm not like letting it. I'm not letting too much get to me. I'm trying to push forward on that. But I was reading from Living a Life in Awareness, a book that I have shared on the channel at some point, pretty much back in the first year of doing this kind of seriously. And it's one of the Toltec books and stuff. It's a 6 month, like if you were to read it every day, it'd be 6 months of a meditation every day and then a practice. But I was starting with the introduction again. And so let me hit this real quick. Let's see. But to give you an idea of what I was talking about, I'd shared a little bit of this on X, but the past few days I've been sharing a little bit of the Fifth Agreement too. Also, I was looking at something. I started writing something when I was in church the other day, and it's turning out to be kind of interesting. It has nothing to do with the thing that I've talked about a lot here on Dom. I don't think it's just a scene of something that I think's turning into a. It's going to turn into hopefully maybe like a little short story or something. Maybe a few pages, maybe more. I don't know. But I have like anyway. Uh, I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it just came, and I happened to be at church whenever. It's kind of like to me. I think it might be kind of a scary, but with some humor in it too, type story is what I think it's going to develop into. Introduction. You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams. Dr. Seuss. And chime in anytime, if you're watching and anything pops in your head, you want to share something. I'm just doing this because something moved me to do it earlier, like start reading it again. I've read some of it already over the past few weeks, a little bit here and there. But something told me that it might be something I could do, just do a stream and I can chat. And well, I did leave a link if someone shows up, but I don't know. I never know how long we'll be. And reading from something that's been shared before, but maybe a lot of people don't know that it was on the channel. I don't really I have a playlist started, but I don't think there's but one video on it. I believe the whole point of inner work is to enjoy life. For me, this means accepting myself for who I am and unconditionally. When life is moving along effortlessly, my unconditional love for myself allows me to enjoy every moment of life in abundance. When life gets difficult, I don't just weather the obstacles. I greet the ups and downs of life's journey with unconditional love for myself and the people in my life by understanding that I am only truly alive in the present moment. As long as there is life, everything is possible. I mean, that's suiting. When I was reading it to myself earlier, no wonder I really enjoyed, you know. A little bit of air come through there, right there too. But now I'm starting to debate on why did I share the link. Well, if somebody pops in to be on with us, I don't know. I don't think that it's gonna. I'm just gonna read. Truth is, the moment when unconditional love blossoms in our hearts, the expression "I am worthy of my own love despite this hardship" is the seed that brings light into the darkest moments of our lives. Our conscious relationship with ourselves allows us to decide what is true for us in each moment. Maybe I should say, should I top this here? Okay. Figured I'd put that in there so that anybody that pops in. I mean, I got it in the title, but someone might not know. I don't know. All I have in the title is living a life of awareness, isn't it? Yeah, and whatever. Because it's not all going to be about this. And I got to say, I mean, I feel better today, but all of a sudden now that I'm live here on the channel, I feel an uneasiness, and I don't know what's causing that. It's like I just ate before I went live, so the present right now is the only opportunity we have to make change. The past no longer exists. The decisions and choices we've made have brought us here, and they cannot be changed. We can think of all the what ifs, should be's, and could haves, but that won't change a thing. Likewise, the future does not exist. The consequences of the actions we take today will not come about for some time. Hey, Betty. Well, I'm reading from this and whatever. This is living a life of awareness. I've got it right there. I think you see it's in the chat. It should be. Is it in the chat? I think it is. Oh, hey, Jason. Hello. I'm trying to replace or not replace. I'm trying to recall. I was thinking that I've seen you before, maybe at some point. And if I, you'll have to forgive me. I don't always remember. Yeah, but living a life of awareness is. I was explaining before we started. Somebody was watching. I don't know who it was, but it's from the Toltec Wisdom series of books, and it's based on. This is written by the author of the Four Agreements and the Fifth Agreement, and some other stuff like Toltec Prophecies and all these other books that I've had or either do have. And I've been sharing a little bit of the Fifth Agreement here. Well, it's really, it end up explaining all of it, like the Four Agreements, and then go into the Fifth Agreement. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Titan. Oh, Angie. Yeah, Angie. Okay. Y'all are coming in pretty quick there for a second. But I was reading, yeah, happy Easter. I don't mean to sound like that, but what was that? Give me a second. I heard something outside real quick. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's what I thought it was. I'll be right back, guys. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. Okay. I heard a neighbor out there, but I was making sure that nothing, like my dogs weren't like causing no trouble or something. I've got the door open now, so I'll close it if anything gets too loud out there. Happy belated Easter. Yeah, or as they said, Resurrection Day, But as I was saying, I was reading from this. Thank you there. I feel all right today. Like I was explaining, I was on X earlier doing a smaller, like when I go live over there, I never stay on very long. Sometimes people pop in and pop out. There are a lot of followers I have, but usually I get like random people I don't even know watching and everything. See, where was we? I guess I'm not going to try to bore you guys, but I just maybe I'll start over this. Tell me if I need to stop, I will. Why don't I start from the beginning? Living a life of awareness. Introduction. You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams. Dr. Seuss. I believe the whole point of inner work is to enjoy life. For me, this means accepting myself for who I am unconditionally. I don't have to start from the very beginning. Yeah. I'm trying to remember where we left off. And hell, I could be, if somebody comes in and I'm happen to be reading and that's not, they don't want to hear it, they don't have to be like, they can leave just like anybody else can. Like when I go in and see something, if I stop out by a stream, if someone's not talking about something or doing something right then that I particularly am interested in, I just move on. I don't know why my ego is starting to think too much about myself. Yeah, that was at the top of the introduction, of course. But he's talking about, our conscious relationship with ourselves allows us to decide what is true for us in each moment. The present right now is the only opportunity we have to make change. The past no longer exists. The decisions and choices we've made have brought us here, and they cannot be changed. We can think of all the what ifs, should be's, and could haves, but that won't change a thing. Likewise, the future does not exist. The consequences of the actions we take to get today will not come about for some time. The only thing we are able to control is this very moment, right now. where our choices and decisions make an impact upon our present. And then I realized like why I was moved to go ahead and okay, hey, big ass fish 3-3. Is that a I'm trying to yeah, I know that I'm trying to because when I saw it pop up, I was thinking I was seeing there's somebody else that comes in and they just started a small channel, I think, recently. Uh, Something steel pole fishing or something. So when I seen fish, but I noticed big ass fish, yeah, great handle. And so this is well, anyway, I'm trying to get, I'm trying to take down, like, okay, there we go. I'm trying to get it back to where everything's clear off and I can continue and then be caught up with the chat. I appreciate you tuning in. So I also did like I did a little more writing, but I'm not. Look, I wrote something. I started in church the other day, and then I wrote some more today on the back. And it's not gonna probably be anything to do with Hero and Dog unless it falls into that universe, but not with that. Sorry for interrupting. What are you talking about? Nobody's interrupting. But I think I've got something here that's going to be hopefully maybe kind of a creepy, almost a scary story, but I want it to, I already see where it's going to go with some humor. So it'd be like I'm toying with a character that's not a Grim Reaper, but he kind of looks like a Grim Reaper. And he's going to be named Frank Lee Death. Like, anyway, I don't know how I happened to be at Easter Sunday in the pew and decided to start writing the beginning of this, but something just compelled me, and I don't know. All I can say is if that takes off and I'm continuing to just keep evolving it, because writing for me has always been the most fun when it just comes that way. Like with the Hero and Dog thing, I think I'm putting too much. I'm putting my own block on myself, you know. Like this is, I mean, this could be something that could be in that world, maybe, but I don't know. I don't think it. I think it's an independent thing that I'm working on. But so Hero and Dog, I feel like I get a block because I'm thinking too hard. What I'm trying to do is, in my mind, I'm trying to build up the backstory, the middle story, all of it, because I see an epic story. So I don't know. With this thing that I just started the other day, it just came and it's just like I wrote a little bit more today, and it's like I can see. I think I just need to do that, to start writing like I did and just keep going. And I have a little bit on Hero and Dog, but I think, well, I know I overthink it. I overthink it. It's either you just do it or I'm like that. And my story about Bill, the stumpy lifeguard, about, yeah, okay. And are you still here, big ass fish? And Angie. I used to think that Angie was from like India or something, and I found out they're not. Like they're here among us in the States. Okay, where was I at here? Ask yourself, am I making these moment-to-moment choices and decisions with awareness? Am I accepting myself unconditionally in the moment? Am I controlling my yeses and nos? Can I see the possible consequences of the choices I make? If my decisions are automatic, am I aware that I have a choice between a self-projected illusion and the truth presented in a moment of clarity. And see there, what are you doing? What do you mean? Why are you leaving? Betty, how are you killing the chat? Everybody's talking. You don't, like, if you have time to be here, you should be here. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to run you off. I just, anyway, it is what it is. You usually have a busy day a lot of times. But I mean, I don't see why there would be any reason you need to feel like you're doing anything wrong in the chat. I'm watching you because you said I haven't done that, and you said not stumpy grumpy, which I saw that. A grumpy life, a stumpy lifeguard. That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it? You wasn't. Well, anyway, I don't know if she left or not. I don't know why you'd be like. I just started reading for a second, and then I was trying to. I don't know. I guess I'm just trying something new. This gives me, because there's some days, there's some days I'll start off a live stream and there might not be anybody here for a few minutes. And I figured if I'm just in the middle of reading and people come in, they'll hear what's going on. They can begin to chat if they want to. And if they don't, no big deal. But like I can see it once I come to a stopping point, because I'm not trying to read a lot at one time. But it talks about, how about this? Choosing to see things as they really are and not just as we wish they would be takes courage. It requires taking our ego, our judgments and preferences out of the picture and accepting things as they are. The choice between illusion and truth is the same as choosing between conditional love and unconditional love. Conditional love is easier to give in many ways. Conditions give us a way in and a way out, but it is ultimately untrue. Unconditional love, on the other hand, is more challenging, but ultimately true with a capital T. And I hope that if you're just now coming in, I'm reading a little bit from Living a Life of Awareness. We were chatting up. I was talking about that I've done a little writing. Betty was talking about, she's like, I am sometimes. Sometimes I'm putting my own block up on a certain story that I've had for years in my head. And then over the past few years, been working on. But then the other day, something came to me, and I started doing more of it today. And it's something different that's not got anything to do with, I don't think, with the story that I've been trying to overthink. But that's nice. I like it when something just kind of comes to me. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Stop it. But yeah, so I don't know, Betty, if you're still there or not. I just hope you didn't run off because you thought you was chatting too much. Now, nobody's saying anything. So, but I'm reading and I'm talking too. So, and I'm listening to the dogs, trying to figure out, make sure that I don't need to get up and get onto them for sure, or they don't listen. It is a matter of rejecting oneself or accepting oneself. If we see giants in the windmills, then like Don Quixote, the illusion is chosen. Maintaining the illusion then reigns supreme, trumping self and truth in the process. But if we choose to see the windmills, then we have accepted our truth unconditionally. This is the choice we make every moment of our lives. Yeah. It's like that story from India. Like the man gets up in the middle of the night, there's a rope on the floor. He can't see good, but he thinks it's a snake. He pretty much almost has a heart attack and fumbles. And then when the light comes on and he realizes it's just a rope, like it's just a rope. But if you're just tuning in, also, I got some cool stuff yesterday in the mail. Now, this will probably show up backwards, I guess, if I was on. I hate how that does that. When I videotape, I have it flipped where it'll turn it around. I don't know if I'm able to control that or here. I don't think I am. So, well, I could do this if you wanted to see. Is that no? That's still got it flipped around, don't it? Okay, that's not working. But Chainsaw Man, I've been knowing about it for like a while. I know there's a lot of different volumes and all that, but I found that on eBay for like, I don't know, $4 to $6. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I didn't pay no more than 6 or 7 for any of the books, and that was only one of them, and the rest of them were like anywhere from 5 or 4 to 5. I got like 5 different books. Well, graphic novels and stuff. This is a manga. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but this one comes from Japan. I guess it's still made like where you got to read it from the, like to us it would be the back, but then this is going to be interesting. It's an old used copy, but the Blade of the Immortal looks really cool to me. Like they've made a movie about this at some point. There's a lot of stuff based on this too, like influenced about it. I got so much different stuff I'm reading and trying to I'm just trying to figure out what else to talk about. Everybody just left. I got Bone, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I remember growing up and seeing these and thinking, oh, that looks stupid. But nowadays, as an adult, and I appreciate different types of stuff, this looks really cool to me. Not as a kid, but as a teenager. When I was really hardcore into collecting, anything that didn't seem to like be more, if the artwork looked too cartoony, I didn't. Nowadays, I really like that kind of thing. It's like it just depends on what mood I'm in. This is the gem I'm really, and Will Eisner, A Contract with God. I think that's going to be super awesome. It's supposed to be 4 different families involved and like intertwined, and so it's kind of an anthology, but it's a story that involves like 4 different families that live in the same neighborhood on this fictional avenue or something in the Bronx. And like I'm just now kind of like really starting to appreciate this type of. So now that I have this in hand, I'm like really eager to get anything I can of Will Eisner. That's especially the other books that go to this, but I haven't even started reading on this yet. I've got some other stuff out, but it's like. So I guess that was a little bit of a break. I don't know. Of from where I was at and what I was doing. I wish I knew what was, I don't know what. Say I'm being self-conscious, overthinking this thing. I'm live. I should just enjoy the moment. You guys are whoever's watching, and whoever participates in that chat. It ain't always about. Oh man, I just hate if we see perfection through the eyes of our internal judge, who is always pushing us to adhere to some ideology or belief system, then perfection is conditional and based on illusion. We create and maintain illusions through our agreements, or the process of saying yes to certain ideas and no to others. For example, an agreement is formed every time we say something such as, I will be happy when I lose some weight, have the perfect relationship, have X amount of money in the bank, and so on. Through our agreements, we put this idea of perfection on a pedestal, not realizing that it's an illusion. Once we have created this imaginary image of how we are supposed to be, we then judge ourselves for not living up to it. We look in the mirror and berate ourselves for our shortcomings. Then we do the same to everyone we know. We punish ourselves to shape us and motivate us to be perfect because that is what we have learned through our domestication. We use the reward of acceptance for living up to an expectation. I don't know. Oh, I think I feel like something has shifted. Like I feel here, like ever since last week when I was talking about feeling uneasy. Like when I go live now, I'm not feeling quite comfortable, and maybe I should just, if I'm feeling that way, then like I'm already live now, so I'm fine, I'm comfortable. But I don't know what's making me think maybe I shouldn't go live, and I debate on whether I should go live or not. And just even if it's just for a little bit, it is something that can be productive for me because it does help the channel, and it helps the channel grow by being alive and making an effort to connect with the people that do enjoy watching what I do, whether that be the videos or the live streams. And I think the uneasy kind of nervous feeling has just been, like last week I said, there's just been some stuff going on, I think, in the just energy wise that just has not felt right. And then, of course, the dog came up missing a couple, three, when it was Friday, I think it was, she disappeared. So, that kind of threw me off too. And but the thing I can say that I'm very grateful for so far, and let's just say so far, I don't know what's going to happen 2 hours from now, a minute from now, or whatever. But I have resisted going and getting a drink. Like it could be easy for me to do that. Like it could be real easy for me to say, okay, Great Cloud, go and get some booze today. It's raining. It'd be a good day to do that and let loose. Well, I just know myself too well. It triggers something. And then, I've done pretty good so far this month, and I've got more in my account than I normally would have at this time of the month. Like I'm not standing with a sign trying to get somebody to help me or something. Like if I need something, I generally have a little bit. Not a lot, but I have enough to go. Like if I wanted to go eat somewhere, I've got the ability to do that or whatever. But if Great Cloud was to decide to try to separate itself from reality with alcohol right now, it would just be a matter of a couple of days that I'd be down to zero, which would be nothing new to me. It's just I don't think I want to be in that place. Not necessarily at zero, but zero from what? Like if I go zero by tomorrow because I get whatever that's not alcohol and a book or some more food or something, that's different. Anyway, I'm talking too much, I guess. Once we have created this imaginary image of how we're supposed to be, we then judge ourselves for not living up to it. We look in the mirror and berate ourselves for our shortcomings. Domestication, the system of reward and punishment works like this. Every time you get something right, you get a reward that makes you happy. Punishment comes when you do something wrong. Why? While how we are just domesticated differs based on our family and our culture, the outcome is always the same: self-judgment and conditional love. For example, let's imagine that as a child you were told that not eating everything on your plate was wrong or even a sin. As an adult, if you do not finish a plate of food, your internal voice of self-judgment will come back loudly, and you will eat to avoid guilt rather than to satisfy hunger. Hey, what's up, Johnny? Oh, well, I didn't know who was here. If you've been here, then you've heard me reading a little bit of this, and I'm sharing. I'm going from if you've been watching, then you've seen what I've been doing. Reading a little bit of Living a Life Awareness, then stopping, kind of talking. There was a few people here earlier, And I can't for the life of me understand why Betty Spaghetti thought she was killing the chat. She was like actually talking it up, and I don't know. But I guess if I'm doing this kind of thing right now on a live, then if someone's not saying anything, thanks for saying something though, Johnny. And I forget I can do that. And after I started this, I was like, oh man, I shared a link on X and shit, and I was like, what have I got myself into? But it's not a big deal. I think this is more of like, it's still a laid back thing, but I have something to. You could say this is kind of the basis of how my discussion for the day is living a life of awareness. You guys go on, guys. Yeah, y'all go on. I love you to death, but dang, I know. Looking at me with them sad eyes. The two that are here, yeah, Johnny, the one that had the puppies this past year, she's disappeared. I ain't seen her since Friday, so there's probably, anyway. For example, let's imagine that as a child you were told that okay, I've already read that. Perfection through the eyes of unconditional love is being aware that the only truth is this very moment now. Everything that exists right now is perfect simply because it exists, because it is alive. Life is a masterpiece of art that is constantly transforming and evolving. Therefore, what is truth at this very moment can and likely will change. If it is something negative, we have the capacity to change it if we so desire. Although it is not a condition of self-acceptance, in accepting ourselves unconditionally, we accept our good qualities as well as the flaws. It is all valid and perfect. And I understand what they're saying. We're perfectly imperfect. That's where I got that, was from the Toltec 4 agreement somewhere. Somewhere his dad said that, and he probably got it from someone else. But the perfection is in the imperfection. That's the way it was designed. What does perfection have to do with living a life of awareness? In manifesting our life, we can either see it as continuously evolving masterpiece, or as a flawed construction that must be fixed and molded to fit our idea of perfection. When we live a life of awareness, we see that perfection already exists, rather than being flawed. A full life is simply a matter of continuing to do what we love to do and improving our skills or craft. We do this not because we are searching for perfection, but because perfection is expressed through the action of being alive. Practice makes the master. Life gets better and better, not because it is supposed to, but because it is the consequence of passion and unconditional love. Yeah, like when we find something that makes our heart burn with desire to truly do and be breathing and alive, like I don't know. Like I feel like that's kind of coming back to me, to have that. I'm trying, but part of it is I'm still got this. I don't know. There's sometimes during the day, and that's just me being open. Like I think everybody goes through that. Like I just hate. I hate being where I'm at, but it's not just me. Like I'm supposed to be right where I'm at, and I already know that, so I stay where I'm at. I mean, the situation of being less mobile, not able to just get out and meet more people and be around more people, like regularly, rather than be here a lot like I am, and then utilize it. I mean, it's not bad. Oh, the it's living a life of awareness by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. Um, it's based on like stuff. It's from the Toltec wisdoms and stuff. This is the fifth agreement. Like the four agreements came out first, and then you had the fifth agreement. But there was a lot of different books that they've written and stuff. This is kind of the introduction to this book, and it's or what I'm reading right now is just the introduction to. I've shared this at some point on the channel back in the first year that I took this serious. Um, like you'd have to go back and way back to see them because I started a playlist and I really still haven't took the time to go through and put it on there. Like sometimes they're harder to find for me because I didn't title them all like Living a Life of Awareness. So it's like, because each one, when you get to the meditations, have their own title. Like the first meditation is letting go of perfection. My father said to me, Miguel, when you understand that you are perfect just the way you are, you will see that everything is perfect just the way it is. But it's not easy to just wake up one day, say you're perfect, and actually believe it. Making such a dramatic change in perspective requires desire and commitment. First, you leave behind any false ideals of perfection. You release your attachment to what you believe it means to be the perfect you. And you stop judging yourself for not meeting your own expectations, accepting yourself for who you are at this very moment. You begin by learning to love yourself. And giving gratitude every morning for being alive. And then underneath the meditation, it'll tell you how to like try to implement it through your day. Like if we were doing it today, stop whatever you're doing right now. Take this moment to love and honor yourself. You're perfect just the way you are because you're alive in this moment. Sometimes, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, sometimes I don't feel like I am, but I am doing pretty good today. Like just because I teared up a little bit, don't mean nothing. Like it doesn't mean that I'm in a bad state of mind. I just there's a lot been going on, like in the world, and you know, I still. Well, I'm so happy to be alive, for I got the good Lord on my side. I'm so happy to be alive, for I've got the good Lord on my side. Oh, oh man. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so I'm reading from the Living Life of Awareness is what I'm reading from, and you know, it was just the basis for me to have something like I was already reading on it. I've read it before. I've shared it with the channel before, but there's a lot of people since when I first shared it, and I've been talking about trying. Like every once in a while, I'll open it up and pick a meditation to just share again in the current uh, day, because there was a lot of people that are subscribed now that weren't then. Like back when I was sharing that, the channel was probably still under 100 subscribers when I started sharing it. Like it grew because it took me a little while to get through the book, but because I was sharing it and some other things like early on. Like I was doing I was doing a lot more videos during the day of just random stuff that would come to me, like little short, like hey, or a lot of videos back then that, like on the videos, they seem like my lives are now, where I just kind of like recorded, like just different, just me during the day. Like I'd get an idea and I just do it and record. And a lot of times I wasn't like, it was just in the moment, but it wasn't live, like live streaming. So, and I don't know who all was here earlier, but I've got a lot of stuff that's came in this past week that's going to keep me busy as far as that's what I'm enjoying to get my mind like I love studying stuff like spiritual text or motivational text. But sometimes when you're just if that's all you're consuming uh reading wise, like it can be sometimes my mind's already on that deep level. So like uh I'm really enjoying going through the old comics I already had, like the ones I've had for a few years. And then here in the past few weeks, I, made some orders and have gotten things in. And I'm in the middle of like I've started some books and I'm in the middle of some books. And there's a stack here that I'm not going to even start on yet until I get through a few other ones. But I'm slow. It's fun to have that as a recreational fun type thing. It's like I haven't really read a full on like novel or anything in a while, like something that'll take me out of the too deep of a thought type thing, like just a good story. Like the Jack Reacher books, I really like reading those. They just take me to another place. I mean, it's based in the real world type shit, but it's still just like it's some other place that I can read and go to. Kind of like when you find a good movie that you can like continue, like you just get so droned into it, But like I have a hard time like wanting to watch many movies nowadays. Like I have most of the type of stuff I'm watching is usually just something on YouTube, like other channels, people I follow or watching live streams. I've gotten really back into trying to be around in people's live streams and their chats and stuff in the comic book community. But I can read a little more in just a second. I still can't understand why Betty thought she had to go, unless she was just busy. But this is something I've started working on. It's going to be probably a story. The air turned cold as he entered the room. The dark figure stood large and menacing. Everyone seemed to stop breathing for a few seconds as any conversation quickly ceased. His movements were slow and precise. We sat there mesmerized as this presence came closer to our table. I took a swig of my whiskey and rubbed my eyes, hoping I was seeing things. Cynthia flicked a cigarette and gasped, like she seemed hypnotized. The other two sitting there also seemed in a trance. I couldn't figure out what was happening. And then I wrote this part this morning. The dark, foreboding shadow stretched out a right hand and pointed at me to come. In this moment, I couldn't determine if this was the angel of death or an eerie dream. The darkness in front of us produced two red glowing eyes and spoke. Today is your day. What the hell are you talking about? I asked. Everything shall be revealed soon enough. And by the way, I'm Frank Lee Death. And no, I'm not a Grim Reaper. I don't know where that's going, and I don't know what Frank Lee Death is, but he's going to be some kind of character. He's going to be the human. There's going to be some comedy in this. I think it's going to be a dark, kind of a horror-ish comedy. I see a short story there. I didn't put any thought into it. It just came the other day. I was in church. It just came to me the beginning of it. And then that last part of it on this back page, I wrote today, and I'm going to just keep playing with it and see how much more. I don't think I need to put too much thought into it. I think it's going to, if I let it do its thing, it'll do its own. And it might just be like every other day, I add a little more to it, but, I've got something to work with now. It's not the hero and dog story, but I think doing something that might be like not thinking of it as an epic story to some kind of short little story that might be a character that resembles a Grim Reaper but isn't a Grim Reaper. and some other people. I don't know who the one. I don't know who is I don't know who's narrating it at this point. I'm writing it as I, but that's not me. So that's kind of fun. That's definitely kind of fun. Oh, uh, well, I guess I'm gonna end this now. I mean, I don't know who's still here. I don't know if anybody's there. Like, I see a few people that might be, and I appreciate you asking. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little too like self-conscious. I said I've been a little nervous. I was gonna play the little drum set a little bit, but like I've got the door open, and I'm just kind of like, what I'm actually gonna probably do if I do end the stream here in a second is I might try to. It's not raining right here right this minute. I might step out in the yard for a minute and just kind of get some fresh air and stuff. Wonder like before it's because it's supposed to be raining like it's so far it's been kind of raining off and on ever since it started last night. Yeah, I think I will get out of here for a little while. Jason, I appreciate you stopping by. And thanks for like it, me kind of like reading from this periodically through the stream was something I'm just kind of testing out to see. It gives me something to keep on track with anyway. And maybe if somebody hears something there that it might trigger like it might be like, whoa, like what you hear, like when I'm reading a paragraph or something, when I stop, someone might have something, that they have a thought about because of what I was reading or something. And it gives us a little more dynamics of, so like I said, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out if Betty was really saying that I don't know why she thought she was killing the chat because she wasn't. But you guys, I hope you have a good day. I might come back on later. I do have some things I need to tend to, like other than being online also. So that's why I'm making myself go ahead and get off here for a little while. It's still early in the day. And I plan to do some more recreational reading sometime today. And I'm also going to do some more writing and then spend some time outside and try to just let things be as they are. Y'all have a good day. Until next time, Mr. Gray Cloud says the eternal moment over and out. Ditto.